I picked a time when the kids were quiet for now. There are two things I wanted to say.
Okay, everyone listen.
First thing is, my daughter May, what is one of your favorite movies?
Sound of Music.
Oh, Sound of Music.
Oh.
And, so Sound of Music is, I think everybody's seen that. I just remember, must have been around the holidays time, we were always at Graham's house, and everybody would be watching the Sound of Music, or at least it'd be on in the background. And it was always fun to watch a little bit of it. You wouldn't see the whole thing. But then when I was older and I watched it with my daughters trying to entertain them, I realized what a great movie it was. And almost I found myself, emotional listening to Edelweiss and all these songs, not just because it was a good movie, but because, I associated that with Graham growing up. I knew that Edelweiss is one of her favorite songs, and I'm just here with my daughter listening to it, and they're asking questions about it. And I'm sure for you, Graham, growing up, it was, that movie even had more prominence, right, or more poignancy, because it was about things that were going on at the time that were much more serious. Looking back, you lived through all those things that we just heard about it. So anyway, I always think of that movie not just because it's a good movie, but because I think back to you and how much you love that song and how my daughters get to enjoy that too. That's one thing. Second thing, thank you. The second thing I wanted to say is it's hard to think about us growing up and Graham. We spent a lot of time in their house with Graham and Papa watching us and just having fun with them. It's hard to think about that time without thinking about playing cards. I think everybody here has been in those card games at some point. When I was a little guy, Graham taught us all how to play things like War and Uno and fun games like that. As we got older, the games got a little more complicated. We used to look up at the big games that were going to Tripoli games and the poker games, and we'd see it from afar. And we really didn't know what was going on up there, but we just saw these chips and these conversations. And then eventually we were part of those card games. And I even remember when I was in high school, Graham taught me and my friends how to play euchre and 500. We didn't know at the time, and then so now, like me and my high school friends, we kept that going for a long time. It was really popular, and it all came from Graham teaching us that game. So now it's all coming full circle. I just this year bought some Uno cards, and I was teaching May how to play, and she beats me all the time. But I think about it. I'm sure we did a lot of different things, but for some reason the cards stick with me. And when I think about cards, it's always, for some reason, Graham. Like there are a lot of other people that played with us and taught us things, and I just think of Graham with the card game. So, and as a father now, I try to think there's a lot of things that we get wrapped up in the video games. We might be thinking about our schedules and work and TV shows and whatnot, but sometimes it's best just to have a card game with nothing else going on, but 2 or 3 people throwing cards.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, Graham, and glad to be here today. Wait, one more question too. When you play Uno, this is a very important point of attention.
In our house.
In our house, we've gone both ways in this. If you don't have the play and you have to draw, do you draw one card and pass it, or do you have to keep drawing until you get it?
I say keep drawing.
You say keep drawing, keep drawing?
What do you say, Martha?
Well, we'll still talk about this.
I thought it was one and done. I thought it was one.
What do you say, Joe?
I thought it was the one. I thought
It's
it was
just one card.
I thought that's one.
Keep drawing, it gets split.
It is still in contention.
Are you north of the Mason-Dixon or south?
Like play on your computer, it's one card.
It's one card. I think the rules stipulate
Say
one.
one card, but I always play where you
I always
keep
play
drawing, which is more fun, I think.
Why do you? I will yield the floor to whoever else.
You
wants to go.
technically draw Uno cards. Keeping with the